What's up, historians, fellow ranters, and magic dorks? This week, my co-hosts Apollo and Drunken Dork both made a gameplay and brought back a super fun old format that we used to play on Arena called Tiny Leaders. Ever heard of it? Chances are many of you haven't. How about Tribal Wars or the Peasant format? All of these are playable formats right now on Arena if you know how to play them. And luckily for you guys, because that is exactly what we're going over this week, as well as a return of a fan favorite phase of our show.
It's Apollo's Wacky Wild Card of the Week and Metagame Showdown.
Coming up right now on this week's infrequent, fun, format-focused episode of Mana Rant. But first, I'm Hoshi, the tiniest, the teeny tiniest of tiny leaders. And you are listening to episode 96 of the Mana Rant podcast, where, as always, I am joined by the president of the Harry Potter fan club himself. We have Drunken Dork.
Hello, governor.
Why are you the president of the Harry Potter fan club, dude?
I'm not really, but so I'm going to London in a couple days for a week.
Okay.
And I imagine that London is just Harry Potter world, and that Harry Potter probably greets you when you get off the plane. He's probably like, "Hello, sir. A bit of a spotted dick," and I don't know, something like that. I don't know how London works, but I'm pretty sure all that stuff exists.
I think everyone's pretty confident you don't know how London works now.
Yeah.
Happy Christmas, Harry.
The Happy Christmas thing bothered me so much. I was like in the movie theaters, like, it's Merry Christmas. Say it right. And finally, we're joined by a man who just got back from Comic-Con, and where, judging from the pictures that I saw online, he was cosplaying as let me guess here. It looks like a cave troll, or no, Grumgully. It's Grumgully, isn't it? Yeah, we have Michael Apollo.
You're close. I was actually just myself, dude. You're just kidding. I didn't cosplay at all. I was just me, dude, in my element.
That's good.
Oh, whoops. Are you sure?
Hard to tell.
Yeah. Real close. You blink and you miss it, I guess, you know? Nice. Well, anyways, welcome back to the show, everybody, and thanks for being part of our ranting community. We are the Mana Ranters, three nerds of the highest caliber who have been hanging out and playing this game for over 20 years now. And we talk about everything Magic the Gathering, but mainly focus on Arena. The show is chopped up into the segments that mirror the phases of Magic the Gathering. We have Untap, Upkeep, Draw, Main Phase 1, Combat, Main Phase 2, End Step, Cleanup, and a discard where we pound some drinks. And then we have time hacks in the episode description below if you want to just hop around or hop to different segments. But with that, let's just start off with the first phase of our show, which is the untap phase.
Untap.
And untap is where we start off with some drinks. So, Drunken Dork, what are you untapping tonight?
Well, I only have one beer tonight that I'm drinking, and then it's just sparkling water after that. But it's Mango Card. I love this beer. It's out of Golden Road from Los Angeles, our original hometown.
Yeah.
And dude, this beer is so good. It's like drinking mango juice.
Jamie loves that beer. Yeah, absolutely. Every time she sees it, she's like, "Oh, Mango Card." So
yeah, it's really, really good.
It is. Yeah, it's like boozy orange juice almost or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome, dude. Paulo, what are you untapping?
I'm opening something from 6 Point Brewery. I'm not sure where it's from, but it's an IPA, as I always do. It's called Bengali IPA.
Nice.
Nice.
Bengali.
Yeah, it looked pretty
Benghazi
interesting.
or something?
They had
No.
What's that?
Iranian IPA or something? It sounded like Benghazi.
I
or
don't know.
something.
I guess it's from Brooklyn. It's from Brooklyn, New York.
Oh,
So hey, I just got back from New York, so I guess that's kind of fitting.
Appropriate.
Hey, I'm drinking here.
How many bad impressions are we gonna do in the first couple minutes?
Oh, I'm
dude.
sure many more.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Oh, terrible. Nice. Well, I'm starting off with an old fashioned on this show. I had a fun like coffee drink in mind, but I drank all the stuff in the bar that required me to make that. Whoops. So yeah, going with the traditional old fashioned, but this one's got some spicy bitters in it as well as some cinnamon simple syrup. So it's a little bit of a spicy version of it. So yeah. Anyways, cheers, boys, to a good show.
Cheers, cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, awesome. Woo, that is spicy. All right. And with that,
Good.
we'll jump into the next phase of the show, which is our upkeep phase. Upkeep, get ya upkeep. And upkeep is the Reddit rant segment hosted by Michael Apollo.
All right. Reddit rant. The internet is full of passion. Magic, also full of passion. Anger, grumpy nerds, all over the place. Reddit is the perfect place to find the synonymous relationship that brings these two together. So this is brought to you by, what subreddit is this? The Magic TCG subreddit. This is from Cat's Carts, and it says, "Thank you, Watsy. Just wanted to give a huge shout out to the biggest money saver I've ever had over the past year, which is to say, heads I win, tails you lose, secret lair precon. Let me tell you what, when I first put in my order and promised myself that I would not be building or purchasing any other new decks until it came in, I had no idea I would be the greatest financial decision of my life. This saved me from spending money on cards for decks for over a year now, with no real update of when the savings will end. Thanks, Wizards."
Nice.
This is fucking sarcastic. I love it, dude. This is amazing fucking Reddit rant. Yeah, Watsy is always losing her mind. Some way, shape, or form. Secret Lair is we're not shy to that either. So, yeah, what did you guys think about this Reddit rant?
I mean,
Yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, you want to go? Or?
no, I was going to say, I really don't know what to say about secret layers. I've never bought one. I know you have, Drunken, so...
Yeah, no, it was pretty normal to wait a while. I don't know, about a year, but that seems ridiculous. And it's funny that you grabbed this one because I've been seeing posts on like multiple Facebook MTG groups I'm in about exactly this thing, you know, this secret layer specifically. And I just wanted to read this one comment that I saw here. I ordered it as a way to get into EDH at my LGS. My LGS went out of business yesterday. That sucks for the LGS, but yeah, I mean, that just goes to show like how long people have been waiting. And apparently, Watsy has just said, "Now, just go to Amazon if you want to buy this product from now on." You know, like because their fulfillment center is just garbage, just like their fucking. Many aspects of Watsy. We obviously love Magic the Gathering, but yeah, there's definitely maybe their arena team needs to get their shit together a little bit. Their secret layer team obviously needs to get their shit together.
Oh man, I didn't know it was that bad. That's crazy, dude. It still hasn't gotten them. Well, I mean, that's why I can't even imagine what that Magic 30th edition, how long that's gonna fucking take. It's gonna be like Magic 31st, and then they're gonna be like, "Good news, guys!" Next year they're gonna be like,
"We finally got printing cardboard."
Yeah, they're almost ready.
Yeah, I don't get it.
And they're gonna be Pringled, and you guys are gonna love them.
They're gonna look so good.
Oh my god, dude.
Nice, man.
So yeah, that was this week's Reddit rant. Let us know in the comments below what you guys thought. We'll also post the thread if you guys want to add in, or if you have something to chime in, if you have a personal experience with this. Other than that, I'll turn it back to you, Hoshi.
Awesome. All right, man. Well, with that, we'll move into our draw phase. Let's draw. All right, and draw is our MTG News, hosted by the most Britishy British man I've ever heard, Drunken Dork.
Hello, governor. No, I got some news for you today. This is actually a little bit old, but since our podcast is bi-weekly, this is about as frequent as you're going to get it, or as newsy as you're going to get it. So there was some rebalancing in our beloved historic format along with alchemy, but historic is what matters. And with that, I have two articles here. So I'm going to go over the one in October 6th, the first. Sure. So there are some cards that are very playable in Historic that went back to their original form. That is Divide by Zero. Yeah, I know. It's super exciting. It really is, though.
Yeah.
Divide by Zero, Eslika's Chariot, Faceless Haven. Finally, we got Faceless Haven back as a 4/3. And then we got Goldspan Dragon and Luminarch Aspirant, which is probably one of the most popular ones played in our format.
Yeah.
Luminarch and Faceless Haven.
Yeah.
So if you've been seeing those around recently and you don't know why and you didn't realize this was happening, there you go. Now they also rebalance a bunch of other cards from throughout sets, but none of these are really played in the historic format, so I'm not going to go over them. But if you are interested, just type into Google Alchemy Rebalancing and you'll find the October 6th one. And then there was some more news for not only rebalancing, but some other things that happened on Arena. So one, Meat Hook Massacre was banned in Standard. Apparently, this mono black deck has been running rampant in Standard, and it hasn't really changed since Meat Hook Massacre has been taken out. Just goes to show that mono black is the way to go, and I'm all for that. What do you guys think? Do you guys play Standard at all?
No,
Nope.
not really. But I do watch videos, sometimes online of people playing it, and mono black looked like it was just a wrecking house in Standard, and so apparently this has done diddly squat to actually curb the strength of that deck. So good job.
I mean, I'm sure they'll ban something else. And then collection progress tracking is now available on Arena, which goes to show you how many cards or how much money you've spent in Arena. It'll now tell you that by showing you what your progress is on your collection for each set that has come out. I don't believe it has the historic Horizon sets in there. I don't think I was looking for it and I couldn't find it. And then after that, we have another rebalancing, and this is Diviner of Fates, and this is very sad to me because I play this in my Reanimator deck, which I love so much. I still have the card, but now as a 2/1 body from a 2/3 body, it can literally be taken out by any form of removal. So that is just sad. And so what do you guys think? Have you guys been... First, have you gone over your collection progress and how is it looking? Do you have almost all the cards?
Apollo?
So I think the weakest one is going to be Ixalan and Midnight Hunt. Ixalan just because it's the oldest one, and I think I pretty much have whatever I need from it. And Midnight Hunt, I think that's because that's when I was gone. So I think that's why that one's the one with the least progress. But something I do want to comment that I think is hilarious. Not only are they telling you how much money you spend, but when you click on a set, it tells you the little graph there. But it also has a big store icon right under. You're like, oh, hey, you want to buy some more of this stuff?
Well, you want to fill these out,
I mean, there's a store icon right up top, but there's a store icon right here too. We'll get you there, man. Spend that money. So
they don't
I thought
hide
that was pretty funny.
They don't hide how money motivated they are, even in a little bit. They're like, yeah, we did this to be nice, but right? There's no correlation. It's giant signs pointing to the store.
And it's crazy because the collection need for some people are going to be oh yeah, I need to fill this bar, because people really thrive on that, when they see experience bars filling them and stuff. And
gamify.
Luckily I see right through you, Watson. Well, maybe not. I see through it, but it doesn't stop me. So Hoshi, do you like this
Yeah, I thought it was
collection
cool.
aspect.
I thought it was cool. I feel like I'm missing way more cards than it really showed me because like most of the progress is filled up from like commons and uncommons, you know? So it's I'm like, according to this, besides Ixalan, I've almost maxed out like fucking everything. And then I look at it and then it's like, oh yeah, you're missing like, 15 or like 10, like your 15 mythics from this, I'm like, that's a shit ton, like it's like a tiny sliver, but it's like the most expensive tiny sliver like in each of the sets that I haven't filled out yet. So
of course,
so it made me, I was like, whoa. Oh no, not really. I was looking at it. Yeah, it's still cool. It's still a neat little feature.
I have the same thought as you guys. Same with you guys. Ixalan, I think I was playing a lot of Commander at that moment. I wasn't really playing Arena too much. So yeah, I don't have a lot of Ixalan cards, but everything else, I spent way too much money on this fucking game. And and then so the rebalancing of Diviner Fates, you kind of spoke to. Does it make you sad, or what's up?
Yeah, I don't like it. I like Diviner Fate. I thought it was a really good card. This is a lot. I think maybe taking one toughness would have been fine to balance out the card. I mean, it is one of the better cards in like the alchemy set. I think, at least I think it's a super fun card, and it's got some pretty cool ability that allows you to seek stuff and discard. I just like this is one of the like digital cards that I really do like. So of course, right after like I crafted all of them, they fucking nerfed the thing. Sweet.
It's still playable though. I still use it. It's still a good card, but I agree. Like going from a 2/3 to a 2/1 is pretty harsh. I think like they should have gone from a 2/3 to a 1/3. I think that would have been like a more fair nerf to it.
Yeah, because the mana cost on this thing is pretty restrictive. The ability is good, but I mean, it's just so easy to take out now. It's definitely lost a lot of steam, I think, there.
Yeah.
So
Apollo, you use this card? Does this have any impact on you whatsoever?
I mean, I like the card. I'm really confused as why they even do this in the first place. I know you don't want to like read everything in the article, but is it because it's standard? Because I know this is played in Esper shells.
Alchemy.
I know it's played in your shell, your like reanimator shell and stuff, but I guess, is it too oppressive in alchemy? The format that no one plays? Like, what is this data? You know what I mean? Like, because it's not an impressive card at all.
Some tournament they ran, it had a strong showing in, I guess.
Yeah, I don't even. Yeah, alchemy. I guess it's popular enough where they felt like they needed to address this, or maybe like the premier alchemy deck is Esper, and this, and they're seeing like this is the main card that is making people move to that. But I think that's enough on this. So that's it for news, really. Nice. Did you guys want to go over any decks you've been playing? Anything exciting real quick?
I've been playing Land Destruction or Ponza, and that's been super fun. So I've been tooling around with that. I meant to make a gameplay of this Boros Ponza that I've been playing, but I'll have it out this week. I should.
Sweet. Boros Ponza, that's not one that you see often. Usually it's Gruul, right?
No, this is some Hoshi Jank exclusive. Yeah. I didn't like
Nice.
I played the Gruul one and I tried making it work, but then I've had much better results in Best of One with the Boros version.
Cool. Apollo.
I got a gameplay coming out. Well, it'll already be out by the time that you see this podcast. It's a Azorius Leyline Binding. It's a unique form on Control. I am just going to say right now, this is the way to play Azorius Control. I think this is how it's going to be going forward in Historic. I'll leave it at that. If you want to see why, you got to watch the video. So it'll be linked. You'll see it at the end screen. It's on our channel. Go watch the gameplay. It's pretty dope.
Sweet.
Cool. Yeah. And I have, we did Tiny Leaders.
Yeah.
By the time this video comes out or this podcast comes out on audio, we will have 2 gameplays up of Tiny Leaders on our YouTube channel. So go there and watch that. And not only that, but I've been playing a lot of Mono Black, Best of 3 in Historic, and Esper Best of 3 in Historic. And both those decks are killing it. Nice. I have close to an 80% win rate with both those decks. Damn. And I have over 20 games with both the decks. So that goes to show something.
Yeah. Dude, that's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Well, let's move into main phase 1 and talk about Tiny Leaders as well as a bunch of other interesting formats.
Main phase 1.
All right, so main phase 1, we're going over just like obscure formats. So in Arena so far, you guys all know like the standard formats that we can play that actually have like a normal queue for them. All right, we got standard, alchemy, historic, explorer. We have historic and standard brawl, and then we have sealed and draft. Those are the ones that you can just play like at any time there's a queue. It'll let you play against other people with those. Then they have events, which will, we usually have like Popper and Artesian that pop up. I think they did a Gladiator one recently. I think they did one of them. I think Singleton is another one that like pops up every once in a while. But other than that, like, you can't play those, and you can't play Tiny Leaders. Like you said, like this is Tiny Leaders, we played it like a year or two ago or something when we were playing each other. Have you guys seen anything about Tiny Leaders since then? I don't think they've done an event for them, or I haven't heard anything about it at all.
I've never seen an event for Tiny Leaders, and we only got into it because we were like, hey, let's try and do something different, and we decided to do Tiny Leaders. And I'm glad that you mentioned this and that we're talking about this, because we were only able to play Tiny Leaders by exploiting a flaw in the deck building process of Arena.
Yeah.
And because apparently when you go to build a historic rebalanced deck, it has a 40 card pool, card pool, which means, which doesn't make sense for Brawl because Brawl is 100 cards. And so with this, you just, you make your 40 card deck, you add 10 extra cards, and then you have, basically by the rules of Tiny Leaders, you have your 50 card deck with 25 health each, which I believe is the original rules of Tiny Leaders. The only downfall is you don't get a sideboard.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Is Tiny Leaders a normally best of 3 format?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
In paper, yeah, it was.
Okay.
It was, I think it was a 10 card sideboard.
Yes. Yes, it was.
Well, it's a very, very dead format, so it could be whatever the hell.
Very dead, yeah.
Whatever the hell you
Super
really
dead.
want it to be at this point. And I think this is the most alive it's been in a while as when we've played it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember when we played that, it was super fun. And then we just kind of got away from it. But yeah, that was a great idea that you had bringing it back. Talk about what Tiny Leaders is. Like, what is the format?
Paul, you want to do this?
So Tiny Leaders is a singleton commander format, whereas in Commander you have your legendary creature or planeswalker if it's legal. That's called your commander. In Tiny Leaders, because you're tiny, it's actually called a lieutenant. The singleton format is, as we already stated, it's got to be 50 cards, but there's also another stipulation. Converted mana costs of your commander and all cards in your deck have to be 3 CMC or less. So what's really cool about that is, or about the idea when it did come back way back when, is you can use some cards that you might not necessarily use that are more efficient at killing things or removing things that just have less CMC to begin with. So there's a lot of like board wipes, targeted removal, exile effects, planeswalkers, things that you might not use that are actually really good to use in Tiny Leaders. So that's pretty much like the basis of how Tiny Leaders works. But I guess how would that relate to Arena, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, the main thing that you got out of Tiny Leaders in paper originally was it had a completely different ban list that you had in Commander, right? So you could do some really it was kind of like Singleton Legacy is how a lot of people refer to it. And I think with this 50 card deck in Brawl, even though you're limited to 3 CMC or less, it actually feels a little more powerful than in some aspects than a 100 card Brawl deck, just because like your deck's more finely tuned, right?
Yeah.
You only have 50 cards and then 17 to 21 of them are lands. So that's a pretty like, you have to be pretty delicate with the cards that you put in there, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, it feels really powerful when you're playing too. It's super fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, the gameplay was great. I really like it. The Tiny Leaders seemed cool. So let's talk about some other formats then.
Yeah.
We got Tribal Wars, and so let's take a look at this. Because I was looking for some other formats. I knew about Gladiator, which is 100 card singleton best of 3. You guys play that in one of the other events that it came out? Because I think they did a recent event for Gladiator where it was like a free entry, kind of like the Wednesday.
Yeah, they did. They did. Yeah. I didn't. I don't think I played it.
I played it. I wasn't a fan. I like Brawl. I like Commander. Like that kind of stuff. It just, I don't know. The best of 3 aspect of it was weird. 100 card singleton just doesn't feel as fun without a Commander. I feel like so. Apollo, did you try it out? Gladiator?
No, I didn't try Gladiator. I did have a 1v1 Commander deck, and that was Tasigur. And I do agree with you because the card selection is completely different. So I can see how you might not like it. Yeah. Because like whereas Brawl, you can have, or whatever, Commander, you can have big CMC like costs and they affect the entire board or whatever. You get like huge payoffs for these cards. But when you're doing like a 1v1 best of 3, you really kind of want to stay low to the ground. You really want low curves, mass target removal, mass board wipes, mass counter spells, which is why Tasigur worked really well in like 1v1 Commander. So yeah, I can see how you not like this deck. I didn't play it though. No.
Yeah, the Gladiator.
Yeah, and
go ahead.
Sorry. Oh, I was gonna say any singleton format that I see that isn't historic, or whatever, I don't touch it. Yeah. It's just not worth it to me. And I think that Gladiator format, when they had it, it was not historic. It was only standard cards. Correct?
Oh, okay. Maybe I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, let's take a look here at this article that I found that was great. Let me credit the website where I found this on. I'll put in the description below also if you want to look at it, which is DraftSci. Or Draft Sim.
Okay.
There we go. Sim. Yeah, it's a weird M that they have there. But so this has a pretty good comprehensive list. I looked at WotC's website of what different formats they had. It was garbage. They were missing so many different formats in there. Like, it's so sad, like just how bad of historians they are for their own fucking game. That the fans do a much better job. So constructed formats. Yeah, we have standard, modern, which modern's going to be. Pioneer, which is, Explorer, there we go, is what we have. Alchemy, Legacy, we're not going to have. Vintage, Pauper, we can play, though. That one's pretty easy to set up in Arena. Like, it's just, you just have to agree upon it with whoever you're playing against. It's kind of the honor system, like we were talking about. You have to do with that. You make sure that, everything has to be, common with Pauper. So Pauper is pretty fun. And then
I love Pauper.
Yeah, you're a big Pauper fan. You were talking about playing it at your LGS recently, right?
Yeah.
Two-headed giant we can't do. Draft is in there. Sealed's in there. Okay, so constructed. Here's where a lot of them are. This is one that I have not heard of before, which is Peasant. Peasant's pretty cool. So it's like Pauper, where everything has to be a common. But you have a spot for 5 uncommon cards that you can put in there, which is pretty interesting. Like, I don't know where they came up with 5, the number 5 that you can have, but I mean, those 5 cards, there's some pretty strong uncommons. So I think that could make quite a big difference in, Peasant. Once again, you got to be on the honor system with this, but what do you guys think about Peasant?
Yeah, that sounds really good. I mean, this would make Pauper significantly more powerful. Like, certain decks, if you like say Boggles, for instance, if you have if you're able to put a few uncommon auras in there, your deck would just be insane. Like there'd be no stopping you, And so I think this is a pretty interesting way of playing Pauper / Artesian.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's pretty cool thinking about what those 5 slots can be. I think it would make like a lot of tribal decks pretty viable too, that you might not see in regular constructed, like vampires or something like that. Like kind of bring like some of the niche tribes out, being access to have like maybe some stronger cards. So I think that's pretty cool idea.
Yeah, and then we have the format that's significantly more powerful than that one, which would be Artesian, which is a arena only format. I don't know of anyone that plays this in paper.
Me either.
There probably are some people now, but this is like Pauper. There is no rares or anything, but this one has commons and uncommons in it. So the uncommons could be very strong. So this could make a little more high powered. If Pauper is a little too low powered for you, Artesian might be a fun one. I enjoy Artesian a little bit more than Pauper when it's when they bring this event out. I really do enjoy it.
Fair. Yeah, I really like the format too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little bit on the negative side of Artesian. I don't hate the format.
Yeah.
I just think you see a lot of the same things. You're going to see a lot of heroic decks. You're going to see a lot of aura decks. Mm-hmm. So I think you see a lot of the same flavors, because if you have access now to uncommons, the best way to do it is to beat face as fast as you can. Yeah. And I don't think anyone does it better than white weenies, auras, and heroic decks.
Yeah, auras
or maybe insane. Red decks with red turbo decks,
Yeah, red's gonna be really good in there. Red and Izzet, I think, will be really strong in those. Yeah, that's a good point. All right, cool. Well, Singleton, we all know about. Frontier is not going to apply to us. And then this is a new one I hadn't heard about either, which is Tribal Wars. Tribal Wars is, it requires that 1/3 of your deck be of a single creature type. Now, what do you think about Tribal Wars, Apollo?
In a vacuum, I don't think this is good. I feel like Elves is probably just going to be the best.
Yeah.
They are doing everything better than most creature types. Mm-hmm. If there were more slivers, I would say slivers would be up there too. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, they can just ramp. Elves can just ramp so much faster than anyone else. So I don't know how I feel about this. In a vacuum, I would say I don't really like this format. What about you, Drunken?
Yeah, so it's funny you say that. Me and Hoshi and Pri, when you weren't here, we were saying essentially the same exact thing. It's like elves and goblins would just own this format on Arena, because the vacuum is Arena, right? And we have very limited stuff for some of these tribes, and it's just like those decks would just be powerhouses. And and it doesn't say Singleton either.
No.
Which means you can have 4 ofs of all these cards. No. Get the hell out of here, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in historic it would require more rules, right? Make it Singleton, or you can't pick elves or fucking goblins, But then what is it going to be all vampires and slivers, Because those are strong, or angels or something. I don't know. I think if you get rid of the elves and goblins. It could be fun, right? Because those two, are insane. And humans, maybe. Humans also might be. You can't do humans. That's way too. Yeah, that one's a little too wide and also super powerful. So maybe if we got rid of those, right, it could be fun. I was just thinking of this as an opportunity, maybe something that we try out. Other than
maybe Singleton would make this a little bit more fair, right?
Absolutely.
Because then I could see something like Spirits potentially being really good in something like that, where there's just not as much consistency there, right?
Yeah.
I still do think elves are probably the best one in a Singleton version of this, but even after that, I do think that the scales would be a little more even.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I think Singleton is really the way to kind of hamper this deck, or this, make it more fair, maybe, than, at least in historic. Cool. Yeah, I like that one. And then we have Free for All, which is just fucking whatever.
20 lightning bolts, please.
Yeah. Basically, it's like no ban cards. You can have as many of them in your deck as you want or whatever. This is just fucking absurd nonsense. So yeah, if you just want to go full power, fucking Free for All is it's something that you can do, and you can do that by I think selecting limited is really the only way that you can do that. Or there's another. I'll talk about that when we talk about actually building these. Let's see. And then a bunch of other ones that we have right here are just ones that we can't really play. Oathbreaker is interesting, which is kind of Brawl. The only difference, we can't play this one because you need a signature spell. But like Brawl, it's just you have to pick a Planeswalker. as your as your commander, which I thought it was.
I actually think Oathbreaker is a kind of popular format. I know is getting kind of like Tiny Leaders. Like Tiny Leaders was all the rage for about a month, right? And Oathbreaker had it was like pretty popular, as a lot of people were talking about. Like when I went to my local LGS, be like, oh, who you guys down to play Oathbreaker instead of Commander? I was like, no, I don't. No.
Yeah,
that shit out of here.
Yeah, I mean, you got to have a specific deck built for it, especially.
For sure.
Cool. All right, so those are the main different ones that I know of. Unless anyone out there, you guys know of some other fun formats that we could play on Arena, we'd love to hear them. Because
absolutely,
yeah, because we're just down to start playing some weird formats against each other. Because really, the only way that you can do it is playing against each other. But then we run into a problem. Right? You guys ran into a significant problem while building Tiny Leaders, right? Just trying to play each other. And the reason for that is Arena is fucked. For lack of a better word.
It's real bad. Yeah, it's a real broken client, man. Yeah. And I'm sad because, like I was saying before, like through an exploit where we were able, like through just a deck builder being broken, we were able to make these Tiny Leaders decks. So I don't think, like, eventually when they figure it out, when the intern goes and he's like, I wonder how Brawl Rebalance is doing right now, and they go to make a deck, they're like, oh wait, this is broken, I got to make it 100 cards, right? We won't have access to make these 50 card decks anymore, and we'll have to go about a different way of doing Tiny Leaders. And I did want to speak to one thing real quick. If you're not part of our Discord, we just started a Tiny Leaders channel in our Discord. So if you want to play Tiny Leaders and you're looking for people to play with, we will be in there. Just throw your name in, your arena name, and we'll add you, and you can challenge us. We'll put our names in there, and our names are always in the show notes below. And you can just add us and challenge us at Tiny Leaders, and I'm sure any of us would be happy to play.
Absolutely.
And to add on to that, because we do have a lot of support of Tiny Leaders on our Discord. So if you want to be a part of it, because we do want to try to at least make this a pseudo official format for us, right? Because WotC's not going to do it.
Why not?
We want to do it, but we require you guys to help us out with ban lists. What do you guys think is, too OP? Something that we can make some house rules for our format, because I think that's going to be a lot better. And then, like Drunken said, play each other, maybe even do tournaments, because that's something that our community wants to do.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
So yeah, join the Discord to be involved in that, because we would love your guys' help.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. Well, yeah. When next Tiny Leader video we do, maybe we should go over a detailed thing on how to actually build it in Arena, because I was trying to look up formats and how to play them and stuff, and there's a major fucking disconjoint that's going on in Arena. And first of all, I talked about all of those different formats that we have, right? Well, guess what? When you look at the deck builder, they have the main ones in there, like Standard and Explorer and Historic and all that stuff. But then if you look up down here, when you get down to the bottom of it, it starts getting a little fucking weird. They have Direct Game. Okay, I don't know what the hell that is, but that is a deck type that you can build in Arena. Also, there is zero description on what Direct Game is. I tried looking it up on WotC's website. I had to go to fucking Reddit to figure out what the hell this was. So nice. Good job, WotC and Arena devs, for whoever came up with this. Yeah, really great. Then they have Direct Game Rebalancing. Once again, no explanation on what the fuck that is. I believe it's the same thing as Direct Game, but they have all the rebalance cards in there. Okay, that's my best guess. Then we have Friendly Brawl, which I do know what that is. That is basically Brawl, right? But you can pick whatever. I don't believe Friendly Brawl has any bans on there. Do you guys know about that?
I think it has. There are there are no bans. You're right. Okay. Yeah, because I was able to use Field of the Dead.
Yeah.
In a friendly.
Oh my god.
Friendly Brawl.
Yes. Yeah. So it's kind of like fucking free format or whatever Brawl. So it's a cool one. And then we have Friendly Brawl Rebalance. So whatever. I guess there's rebalancing in there. And then we have Limited and Limited Rebalanced. Okay. So with Direct Game, I think this is the free format kind of where you can just pick whatever you want. That is a 60 card deck. Okay. The problem with this one is, you can't pick more than 4 cards. I think that's it. But you can pick whatever else. And I don't know if you can pick a commander in direct game. I don't think you can. I think it's just
Okay.
I think it's just 60 card, to 80 or to 100. You could do that with that one. Then we have limited, which is 40 cards. But the crazy thing about limited is, it's 40 cards, but you could pick literally whatever. You could have like 50 cards, or 40 cards of one fucking card in there if you want to. I was screwing around in there. So you can do whatever in limited, which is interesting, but it is 40 cards. And so how were you guys able to make the Tiny Leaders deck? Which one was it again? Was it traditional?
Friendly Brawl Rebalanced.
Oh, that was the one
And
that you
then
had to use? Okay.
Yeah, and then it shows you that you have a 40 card deck. So who knows what's going on with the deck builder, man.
Okay, yeah. All right, so that's how you build them. But then when you want to go to challenge each other with direct challenge, which has been just an absolute shit show for us in the past, where we've tried to make videos of like us playing each other, but it was so fucking broken we couldn't even like get it to work.
Yep.
So they have challenge match, which is 60 card friendly brawl, 40 card or 60 card rebalanced. Once again, zero description on what any of those mean. You just kind of have to play around to be able to see like what decks. So you pick one and then see what decks you're actually able to play against your friends with. And then they have the tournament matches, which those ones are a little more strict. They're 3 best of 3s. But you can select the different stuff. But 60 card, that doesn't match up with anything. I don't know who came up with the the formats or how you pick them or play against each other, but
Intern.
Yeah, no shit. Timmy really dropped the ball on this one.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like there's nowhere. I was looking for like hours today while I was coming up with this to like try and make head or tails of, or if there's any fucking chart anywhere or something. Nothing. Just some snarky Reddit comments about like, no, you idiot. Like that's not.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. That's not how it works. Maybe it'll be up to us to figure this out when we're playing each other and stuff. So Any last thoughts on Arena's fucked up format system?
Please, Arena, fix your shit, but don't fix the Friendly Brawl Rebalance because I want to keep playing Tiny Leaders.
Timmy, if you're watching, I know it's hard to do your job, man. Like this poor guy, he's got his like notepad and he's like, hey, a lot of people are complaining here. Is there any like tips or anything you can, that guide me in? And they're all just like doing cocaine and gangbanging each other, and they're like, "Get me fucking more
it's like
coke,
eyes
Timmy."
wide,
and it's like
eyes wide shut party or something.
Dude, Watsy just can't stop having their eyes wide shut parties. Like, so poor Timmy. I feel for you, man. I want to believe it's not your fault. I feel like you're trying to do your job, but Watsy just can't stop doing blow. I guess I don't know, man. Yeah,
I guess I don't know.
And when you only have one intern running all of MTG Arena, that's a mighty big hat to fill. A mighty big shoes to fill. I mean,
I imagine that there's people that are like, hey, can we fix this? And they're like, hey, is that going to have a link to the store in it? No? Well, then fucking no.
They're trying to work on making Harry Potter attack Negan from Walking Dead, and then in response, I'm going to have Optimus Prime come out and transform into Voltron. Like, dude, that's more important, man.
I'm going to attach my lightsaber to exactly. All right, great. That was incredibly frustrating to go over. So what do you guys think about the formats? Is there any formats that you want to see us play or anything? You guys should check out the Tiny Leaders video. And with that, let's just move into our combat phase.
Dorkish Combat!
And Combat is our horseshit card game hosted by Drunken Dork.
What is up, everyone? This is the Horseshit card game, and today we are doing 20 questions again, mostly because I am lazy and I don't have to make any screens for this one through Photoshop. So the rules, the stipulations here are the card will always be a card in Arena. So you have that, and it'll be historic legal. Unless I say otherwise. All those rules will always be truth, unless I say otherwise. So, let the questioning begin.
All right. Who's starting it off this week?
You started off, dude. I feel like I lead us off in a bad foot.
Okay. Is it? Is it standard legal?
No.
Okay. Yes. All right. Narrowed it down a little bit.
Is it an instant or sorcery?
No.
Oh, nice. Okay, that cut out 2 at least. Okay. Is it explore legal?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Is it a planeswalker?
No.
is it a creature?
Yes.
Okay, good. So it's not an artifact or enchantment because those were the only 2 that were left. All right. Okay. So we got creature
Is
and
it
it's
CMC
explorer.
4 or less?
Yes.
Okay.
That's 6. And by the way, I didn't mention this, and I never mention at the beginning because I always forget. If you get it in 10 questions, I get a shiny gold star,
It's
like
never
when
gonna
you're in
happen.
kindergarten. I think you did it once. Yeah, you did it one time. And then if you get it in less than 20, it's just like whatever, dude. You
Okay.
fucking won.
Oh, yeah,
Get
whatever.
outta here.
Yeah.
Get out of my face.
Good job. Whatever.
Get outta here.
Satisfactory.
Get outta here.
So is it white?
No.
Okay.
Fuck. I don't know if I should ask if it's green
Is it from
or
Eldrin?
if it's legendary. All right, so explore. Let's think here. Explorer. Is questing beast legal in explorer?
Yes, it is.
So
Absolutely, it is.
oh my god.
Why
Is
are you
it
just-
green?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's 8.
Okay.
4 or less.
So it's
Green.
4 less. All right. Oh man. Is it 3 CMC or less?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Not
That's
question bees.
9. Fuck.
Not question bees. All right. So it's a green creature.
It's
An
literally a million cards.
An explorer that's 3 CMC or less. Yeah. Yeah. We haven't narrowed
Yeah.
it down that much. Okay.
No. Fuck,
okay.
dude. Should I do creature type?
You could try
Try
that.
knock out a bunch of. Yeah, is it an elf?
No, that's 10.
Oof.
I think that was 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. No gold star for us.
No gold star.
Okay.
Where's
is
my-
it 2
where's my
CMC or less?
Yes.
Shit. Why can't it just be no? Then at least it would have been 3. All right.
So it's 2 or less. It's green, or at least has green in it.
Yeah, it's
not an elf.
It's not an elf. It's not a historic card.
Well, it is. If it's Explorer, it's historic.
It's not like
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
digital.
Oh,
or-
yeah. Sorry.
something like that. Yeah. Or an anthology.
So let's
Yeah.
think here. Let's see. Fuck. Is it 1 or less?
No.
Wait. Okay, so it's
it's
2.
2.
So it's 2. Okay. All right, good. And it's not an elf. Does the creature tap for mana?
Yes.
Okay. Hey, all right. That lowers it down.
Okay.
So it taps for mana. It's 2. It's not an elf, so it's not any of the elves that tap. So maybe it's the elemental, the element that taps for.
Oh man, what's
For-
the one that
There's an
it's not
element.
Sylvan Carroted. What's the fucking one that people use?
Sylvan
as
Carrot
two?
is not in our format.
Wait, Paradise
It's not
Druid is an elf, right?
Paradise Druid is an elf, yes. So it's not Paradise Druid. It's green. It taps for mana, and it's 2. And
What's
it's
the one
not
that
an
has
elf.
adapt?
That's an elf. Wait, adapt?
Yeah, the 2 mana one that has adapt.
Is that where you can pay and then it?
It gets
That's a-
bigger.
that's
and
an
it adds
elf.
more mana.
That's an elf.
That's an elf.
Yeah, that one's an elf. So you already, good job. You cut that one out. No, I think ask it if it's an elemental. If it's an
Why don't you ask? You ask.
Is it my turn?
It's whoever's turn.
it's
You guys
Apollo's
don't
turn.
have to go in order.
It's Apollo's turn.
Is it an elemental?
No.
Okay, fuck. Damn it. now I'm very confused. Yeah, and now I just remember, and it was Leafkin Druid. No, wait, no, it wasn't. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, whatever.
I know exactly what card you're talking about. If you have a creature with power 4 or greater, it taps for 2 green mana.
Yeah, it's 2 and it taps for mana, and it's green, and it's not an elf or an elemental. So, people have to be screaming at me now. I feel like we've got it pretty narrowed down, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah,
what,
you do.
what the hell could it possibly be? That's shit.
You're at 14,
No.
so you still have 6. So you can start eliminating more questions. So
Okay. Yeah, I don't know where to even go. Apollo, do you got any inklings?
Oh my god, dude. All right, so it taps for mana. It's not an elf. It's green. It costs 2.
It's cost 2, yeah.
Is it power 1 or less?
yes.
Wait, that what? Yeah. Okay.
Because there's the ones that have 0 in it.
Okay.
I'm trying to
What?
narrow it down to see if.
Well, you
it's
said
one.
one
Well, you
or
said
less.
1 or less, so that would be-
Yeah. Well,
So
we
it
know
could be
it's not
1
2.
or 0.
Yeah, but we know it's not 2. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh man, that was good. That was good. All right, you're
well,
at
there's fucking
15.
bears that are 2 2s for 2. Like,
All right, 15.
Yes.
You got
is it
4
a planeswalker?
questions.
Final answer. There we go.
Wait, there's a tree. There's like a keratin or something like that, isn't there?
Yeah.
Fuck, I
That's
can't
used
think.
in Enchantress, I think.
Oh,
Sylvan.
is it an enchantment?
No, that's 16.
No. Okay, I was like, it's the one that's in the enchantment deck, and I know that one is an enchantment. And damn it, it's not. Okay. Oh, I was really hoping it was that one. Oh, no. Because you like enchantments and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do.
damn it.
I'm loving this. All right, you got 3 questions and a guess.
No, we're almost done for. What could it be, Apollo? What could it be?
Dude,
not-
I'm fucking.
It's not enchantment.
It
It's not an
taps for
elf. It's
mana.
not an elf. It's not an elf. It taps for mana.
2 or less.
Maybe that's. I don't know. Maybe we can narrow it down by.
No, it's 2 mana. You already
Yeah,
established.
it's 2
not
mana.
2 or
We got
less.
that.
Oh my god, dude, I can't fucking think of anything.
This.
I'm like scouring my fucking head here.
Yeah,
All right,
me too.
let's think explore decks, right? Let's think explore. So it's not gonna be
That's
an
what I'm
elf
trying
deck.
to think. Yeah, it's not gonna be elf.
All right, what about Gruul? What does Gruul use? tap
They
for
use
mana.
Burning Tree.
They
but
use
not,
Paradise Druid and they use
Yeah.
fucking Llanowar Elves.
Yeah, and Burning Tree, which doesn't tap. That just pips. That's not it. What else does tap?
Scurry Oak decks don't use
Y'all,
anything like that.
you can all give up if you want. Can't go on forever. It's bad content.
That's
Leafkin
true.
Druid. Dude,
Is it a human?
I got literally fucking nothing, dude.
Is it a
Drunken
human?
is out to get us.
Is it a human? No, it's not.
Okay, it's not a human.
That's a good guess, though.
Okay.
It's not a human, it's not an elf, it's not an elemental, okay?
Yeah.
It's not an enchantment.
Yeah, two question.
Isn't it an artifact? Oh wait, no, you already said it was fucking green. Damn it.
Yeah.
I was like,
Nice. Nice.
Nice. All right,
You
one
pulled
question
an Apollo.
and a guess.
is,
guys-
it,
follow.
is it from Eldraine? Is it from Eldraine?
Okay, is it from Throne of Eldraine?
No, it's not.
Damn,
All right,
I thought
you
it
guys,
was.
you ready? You have.
Whatever.
Is it Oko?
It is not Oko, unfortunately, and that's 20. And you are gonna kick yourself, Hoshi. It is Manawef Sliver.
Oh, wait, what? Is that is an explorer?
Yeah, it's legal in Explorer.
Fuck, Yeah, it is. It came in a non-explorer, like it came in like what was it?
It came in and Jumpstart Historic Horizons.
Jumpstart, that's right. So it is legal in Historic. I just didn't think of it because of that. Yeah, because no one plays Slivers in Explorer. So
we both have played Slivers in Explorer, but that was a long time ago.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, well, still, yeah. All right, pretty good. Damn, that. Oh, that hurt my brain. I hate this game.
Yeah.
I hate it. Did you guys? did any of you guys out there get this, or are you as brain dead as we are? And with that, let's move into main phase 2. With our shame.
Phase 2.
Yeah, shame. Slivers, man. Slivers. You should have known this. You're the fucking sliver queen over here.
Oh my god. It's so sad. It's so sad. All right, well, it's main phase 2. And main phase 2, we are going over...
It's Apollo's Wacky Wild Card of the Week in Metagame Showdown.
All right, so, Apollo, what is your wacky wild card of the week?
Wacky wild card of the week is it's going to be Esper Sentinel. I'm choosing Esper Sentinel. This deck or this card is in so many decks, whether it's in tier 1 or tier 2. It doesn't even matter if it's best of 1 or best of 3. You're going to see this card. So my rare wild card draft craft of the week is definitely this card. It is so good. It fits into so many different kind of strategies. It's just a catch-all. Everyone's going to be casting non-creature spells. This is like arguably one of the best one drops that have ever been printed.
It's really
so
good.
if you really want to think in the future and in the present, this card is going to stay. It's in for the long haul. So Esper Sentinel is for sure the pick.
Nice.
This is a great pick. Yeah, especially with I think I like this because Luminarch Aspirant just recently got changed back, and Esper Sentinel that holds hands with Luminarch Aspirant for sure. Like they are buddies. Yeah, they are best friends, and it fits in humans, which is really popular. It fits in Azorius Artifacts, which is, I mean, both of those are tier 1 decks between best of 1 and best of 3.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Sweet, man. All right. Well, then next we're going into the metagame showdown, which is going to be how is the metagame looking post the alchemy drop in Historic. That's what we're going to talk about today. It was mainly Historic because I don't think Explorer has really changed at all in recent times. So how's Historic looking?
Historic?
Exactly. Exactly the same. I searched high and low.
Okay.
And so, Alchemy Rebalance, we talked about those. And then not only that, but the set release that you went over, Hoshi, you did a set review of.
I did.
We have a whole, it should shake up the format, right? There were a good 30 something cards, I think, that got added in.
Yeah.
And then along with the rebalance cards, you think something would happen. But when you go over the metagame in a lot of these top sites, like Aether Hub and MTG Goldfish and a few other ones, Metadex, and you type in the last 7-day Metadex, it's all the same. It's all almost exactly the same. Goblins, elves, Jund, Wizards, Azorius Artifacts, all these cards are best of 1 with no new cards added. So, and even when you go into the tier 2 lists, you still don't see anything from any of these rebalanced or actually I saw Luminarch Aspirant. But any of these added cards with this newest alchemy set.
Okay. Apollo, what have you been seeing? Is it you
with that being said, I will also say, and I know Drunken agrees with me on this, the format's not stale though. Even though there's not much changed, it's more solidified. There's a shit ton of fucking decks y'all can play. There is so many decks you guys can play and literally take to the ladder. Just because something is tier 2 does not mean that it's not going to win. It just takes a good pilot to go ahead and get you there to victory. The reason why tier 1 is because, in a vacuum, they're just going to perform better than usually other decks that you'll see in the format. So what I've been seeing a lot of in Diamond rank is going to be you start seeing a little bit of mix up in Diamond. I definitely think like from lower ranks as you go up, you see a lot of variety. But as you get higher, things get a little bit more closer to what you would see in your your typical tournament. So Azorius Affinity, Izzet Wizards, and Rakdos Goblins. For me, those are going to be the big three boogeymen. Those are tier 1s. They all have the same similar strategy. They're trying to get 20 down to 0 as fast as possible. So that's why these tier 2 decks exist, and they attack them very well. But they just might struggle against other decks in the format, even against each other. So that's why they are tier 2. And tier 2, I notice we see a lot. From my research on MTGA Zone, this is actually, I think, pretty factual because I've seen every single one of these decks, some more than others. But, we got the Azorius Auras, Azorius Control, Dimir Ninjas, Esper Greasefang has been popping up again. It's not really a strong deck, but the fact that it can get turn 3 wins out of nowhere is nothing to snuff at. Izzet Phoenix, Kethis Combo, Mono Green Elves, Mono Red Burn, of course, Orzhov Angels, Rakdos Midrange, Selesnya Humans, as we already said. Humans is a very powerful deck.
Orzhov Angels?
Yeah, Orzhov Angels is super powerful.
I have not once run into an Orzhov Angels deck.
Same.
Really?
Yeah. You mean Selesnya Angels?
No. Orzhov Angels.
Really?
Yeah, using it uses the sideboard for Duress and Thoughtseize, and the main board it does Black Market Connections.
I like that card.
I have run into this deck. It's garbage.
I mean, I think Angels is pretty strong regardless.
Yeah, Angels are good. Yeah.
But yeah, Selesnya Humans, Simic Merfolk, and then some Boroth Thopter, and then it goes down to tier 3, tier 4. So yeah, the deck or the format I think is pretty healthy. A lot of these decks are going to obviously cost a lot of rares, but yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with the format. It's solidified. It seems like we have like what modern used to be like 3 or 4 years ago, where it's just like a fucking like a clusterfuck, man. Because even though these decks I've mentioned, there's still so many others that I still see on the ladder.
Same.
I don't know if you guys see that on best of 1 or best of 3, but I love it. I don't know. I love how like the biggest variety. Like I just hope they keep focusing on historic. They keep adding like more cards, more unique cards that you probably wouldn't see in other formats to like completely shake it up. But Hoshi, I know you don't play too much historic lately. You've been like on the explore kick, but
I've been playing a lot actually recently. Since the anthology came out, I've been playing almost exclusively historic. Nice. I hop back every once in a while, but yeah, I play mainly on the play queue because I'm just fucking cranking jank, man, and I don't want to go to the ladder with it a lot of the times because I'm just like, I'm testing stuff out. I'm conceding quickly because, if somebody's stalling or whatever, like I'm just trying to like hone my deck and like, fix things. So like, I don't like going into the rank queue because I have to sit there the whole time, unless I want to lose rank. So I've been there and I see an insane amount of stuff in the, in the play queue.
Oh yeah. In play queue for sure.
So much weird shit, which I love. I love it. But I still have not been seeing as much explore or the, alchemy stuff as I thought I was going to. I saw quite a bit of the Oracle that puts the power 9 into your deck at first. And then that's kind of gone away because it's not that great of a card, unfortunately. It is fun. It's a fun card, but it's not, playing very well.
Fun to you, fucker. Not fun to me. Not when I have to watch you try and like
it is
reanimate Time Walk 5 million times.
I don't do that one. I do the wheel version of it, where you use the Time Walk from there, not Time Walk, Time Warp, where it wheels your hand. So I put in the the one that is like banned in most play groups for Commander, Smothering Tithe. So when your opponent draws a card, right, they have to pay 2 or you get a treasure token. So when you wheel them, right, you get a bunch of treasure tokens, and then you get a new hand, and then you do another wheel, and then if you have like Shieldred down, you just kill them from doing that. So It's fun, but you still have to jerk yourself off quite a bit to like get, to kill them. So it's not fun for your opponent to watch you do. That's for sure. But yeah, I wanted to see that Rigzu or whatever, the bone cobbler guy. Have you guys ran into him at all on the ladder? The
Which one is that again?
He's the black 2-drop legendary where you can tap him, and then he'll turn something into your graveyard into an artifact, and then you can cast that card, right? But it loses all of its other types.
I have not run into that card once, and when I saw it, that was the one that like spoke to me the most, just because I love reanimating shit. But honestly, I didn't like. I only opened a few packs of these, and I didn't open any of them.
Yeah,
and like when you look at all the cards, like it just doesn't, ultimately it doesn't seem like worth it to throw in the 2 mana spot when there's already so many good creatures in 2 mana that are in black, especially.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's cool, and I've watched people play it on videos, but I just don't think any of these cards were really meant for historic, you know, like Apollo, you were talking about the goblin enchantment earlier, and that you've seen in goblin decks, the one that reduces red cost. And
so I did want to touch on some of the alchemy. Well, actually, I just want to touch on this card. I have seen actually quite a few of these alchemy cards.
Okay,
and they're just easy wins. They're people trying to use new stuff, and I'm like, awesome, cool. That's wins for me. Goblin Influx Array, though. So 3 colorless, 1 red for an enchantment. Goblin spells you cast cost 1 red less to cast, so it even brings down the red cost.
Yeah.
This deck, it's typically going to be found in like Gruul, Goblin's Company. And instead of the Fable Mirror Breaker, they're going to be using the Goblin Influx Array. And I've seen this being used with Squee, and there's a combo that you can do, and it's actually faster than Rakdos Goblins.
Really?
To where you can just like keep killing Squee, and you keep getting cards, and you just keep casting goblins for free, and you're pretty much just like, you're like this fucking control deck, but you're goblins. Like, so your opponent's just like sitting there until you find Goblin War Chief, and you're just getting like a mass of goblins, and you just swing in for over 100, you know, like. So yeah, I have seen this deck gone off.
That's
I
funny.
do think it's powerful. Whether it's in Rakdos Goblins, no, I think it's in Gruul Goblins. But yeah, this card's good.
I also wonder if maybe we just haven't been seeing them that much, because, you know, why would you craft them? You know, unless you just want to play around with stuff. Like, none of them seem like incredibly powerful, except for like the one that literally put the power 9 into your deck, which, you know, those cards are pretty powerful. So it seemed cool. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, maybe a lot of people just didn't even craft these because they thought they weren't worth playing around with. I mean, based on my review, I said meh. You know, you said you didn't agree with some of the stuff that I said in mine in a text on a couple of them. You said you didn't agree with. You remember what those were?
No, I remember like you were kind of high on the Oracle, and I just don't like that card at all.
Oh, okay.
And then there was I don't remember the other ones. Yeah, there was a couple. I'm not a big fan of the Goblin card either. Okay. And then also
the enlist one, the enlist or the array,
the array, the enchantment.
Oh, okay. I think it's good.
And then also, I remember, I think you were kind of low on the 1 mana white human guy, and I actually think that card's pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good too. It's decent. Yeah,
I think that's one of the better cards that came out of it, which is sad.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, it wasn't that great of a set. Okay, cool. You guys got anything else for the metagame showdown?
Nope.
No? Okay, cool.
No, sir.
All right. Well, yeah, I hope that was interesting. Nothing has changed. There's just some
very interesting.
More fun decks are out there, I guess. So, yeah, with that, let's move into our end step.
End step.
And for end step, we have
comments, questions, corrections.
which is our Discord's, mailbox that we have. So if you want to ask us some questions, we do our best to not check that channel all week, except for Apollo, who's in there, despite us telling him not to. So yeah, you can post stuff in there, and then we'll read it on the show. So Apollo, what do we have in our comments, questions, and corrections this week?
All right, so we got quite a bit of stuff in comments, questions, and podcast topic suggestions. So one of our homies says, talking about Luxodon Smiter. I'm pretty sure this is in reference to what I was talking about last podcast. Talking about Luxodon Smiter being a card I want to see. I remembered one of my last Modern tournaments years ago. I was playing against Naya Zoo, which was a very popular deck back in the day, and I was on black-green Death Cloud. I Inquisitioned, and the guy had 2 Smiters and a burn spell. I took one Smiter and then Thoughtseize to take the other. He gave me this weird-ass look, like, what the fuck is he doing kind of look, and then I played Damnation to wipe his 2 Smiters and a couple other creatures they had, while instead beating down with the Thragtusk token after that turn. But yeah, I'd love to see him and Abrupt Decay be in the Explorer Anthology. Agreed.
Abrupt Decay.
Yeah.
Abrupt Decay
that's
would
a good
be really
story.
nice.
Yeah. Abrupt Decay would be really nice, and I appreciate that. I love hearing your guys' past tournament stories. But
Apollo,
what?
You son of a bitch! Once again, you looked at the comments, questions, and corrections.
Did he write something in there?
Oh my God!
You're not supposed
you're
to
the
do-
worst.
Yeah. Again, if I see a notification, I'm gonna be like, ooh, and then I realize it, and then I feel like,
I just imagine you're hammered 24/7. You're like, you're just like, oh, there's a little red circle. I'm gonna click on that.
Oh no, I did a whoopsie.
That's funny.
So yeah, in podcast suggestions here. We got Vox Nihilist talking shit about us, talking about pumpkin beers or something. Dude, it's not like we like pumpkin beers, man. I think it's just alcohol, you know.
I like pumpkin beers. I like them. Let me correct there, because you had a pretty funny like Bill Burr skit on there too. I like that. Yeah. I don't like most pumpkin beers. Like I said, a lot of them are garbage. I like the Shipyard one. The Shipyard one is actually really good, but like 90% of them that I try do taste terrible. But yeah, I like that one. And then most of the other ones are just okay. But then again, I like almost any beer. I'm not very discerning in my beer taste. I'm like, yep, that's good. That's good. That's also good. So
yeah.
I don't know. Whatever.
Side note: I don't care for SNL. I find them not funny at all. But like Bill Burr is one of my favorite comedians of all time.
Great, dude.
Some are really funny.
Some skits are good, but the fucking pumpkin. Sam Adams pumpkin one with Bill Burr, that is so good. Oh, go tell your fucking mother, like it's so good. So check it if you want. But so another one of the homies goes, Mana Rant versus, if possible, it'd be nice to see both cameras on you at the same time so we can see your reactions as they happen. I appreciate switching the views to see the other hands, but switching for reactions was a bit disorienting. When they happened quickly or when it was missed completely. That said, I love the concept and seeing a new format. For Tiny Leaders specifically, I'd probably say you should follow the historic brawl bans or actually run interaction to kill a measly creature. Yeah, dude, thank you for the comment. We really appreciate it. We love the feedback. And he's referencing something that happened in gameplay because, I'm a dumb Apollo and things happen. But you got to watch the gameplay to see what happens and that reference.
I do like the brawl ban idea, though. That's good.
I actually don't. I don't like that because that was like one of the things that made Tiny Leaders seem so powerful before is that you could play. Yeah, there were almost no bans. They had like, I think, what's that equipment that when you equip a creature and it dies, you can draw 2 cards? Like that was banned.
Skull Clamp
was banned in Tiny Leaders, along with a few other like super OP cards. Like I think Dark Ritual was banned in Tiny Leaders.
Well, yeah.
But I kind of like the idea of not having a ban list in this format because it just makes it a little more powerful.
Okay. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Okay. Cool.
Something I thought was funny was same guy, CY. He posts he Google search historic Tiny Leaders.
Oh yeah.
And the number one result was like world leaders when they were tiny,
I
like
saw
when they
that
were
one.
babies or something.
Yeah.
Right, that was number 1 result.
Yeah.
And then number 2 was our video, Tiny Leaders Are Back in Arena on YouTube. So I don't know if we should be proud of that or how sad it is that like WotC doesn't even pop up on the Google fucking search.
That's really funny.
That is funny.
Yeah.
And I will say, to CY's point, like this was our first run at doing a versus video again. We haven't done this in like at least a year, maybe 2 years. And we're trying to wrap our heads around doing it. We have 2 edited videos right now. So like that was already done before I saw this. And so going forward, we'll kind of experiment. And I want to allude to Old Man Fingers. He mentioned he had this cute little drawing here. And he said that not sure how much editing it would take, but to have both decks being shown at the same time. And it's kind of funny that you say that because we were talking about that pre-production when we were, or post-production of making the game about doing that. So we'll kind of play around with it. And then ultimately, as we do these, we'll figure out which one works best.
I think before when we were doing it, we had like all of us would be on screen while it was going on. But when it was the other person's turn, we would kind of switch to them. Like we switched on every turn, right? Like when the person would, when you would go to end step, like the end step, it would switch to the other person who was actually playing. So we would go back and forth like that. But yeah, and then we went to that person would have the it's it was some stuff that we would have to work out behind the scenes, but
absolutely.
I love that.
We will though.
I love that we got feedback this time because last time we had no idea like what anyone liked. So yeah, thank you guys for letting us know about that, and we'll play around with it. So sweet, man.
So ultimately we are going to make it better because we literally strive on production. That's one of our main selling points. We're dumb, but we have good production, and we will make it better.
As good as we can do it.
Appreciate the feedback, but that's all we got this week. A lot of good stuff from everyone on our Discord. If you want to be a part of our Discord, be sure to join that. But back to you, Hosh.
Nice. Thanks a lot, guys. And with that, we will move into our cleanup phase.
Cleanup.
And cleanup is just our socials. So where you can get a hold of us, we are on Discord like we just talked about. We have a YouTube channel that we're doing right now where you can see us and all the stuff that we're talking about. We are also on wherever you get your podcast, Spotify, iTunes, all those places. We're on there as well. We also have an Aether Hub where we put our decks that we talk about and the ones that we play in our videos and stuff. So if you want to grab those, you can go there. But once again, like I always mention, our Discord is the best place to get a hold of us. And and with that, let's move into our last phase, which is our discard phase.
Discard phase. Drink 'em up, boys.
And discard is our final stage where we say our goodbyes and pound our drinks. So, Drunken, final goodbyes.
Thanks for watching, everyone, and listening. I always appreciate it. Please join the Discord, become part of the community, and play Tiny Leaders with us.
Nice. Paulo.
I love you guys. Like, subscribe the video. We need more subs. We want more support. We want to keep doing this channel. So, just let us know what you think. Peace.
Yeah, well said. All right, and once again, guys, thank you for joining us if you made it this far, and we will see you again right here on Mana Rant. Cheers, buddies.
Cheers, Harry. Oh, that was a wicked fucking bomber, that,
That's a lot of carbonation.
I told my wife when we're in London, I'm just going to go around talking to everyone, and the first thing I'm going to say to them is, "Hello, governor."
You're going to be black eyes you're going to come back with.
Oh, dude, I'm going to get the shit kicked out of me. And we're going to a soccer match, like a legit soccer match. I got tickets for it. And I'm just going to, like, every time I see someone at the soccer match, I'm going to be like, "Hello, governor."
You like soccer, dude.
A soccer
You should
match,
definitely
dude.
say soccer the entire time, too.
Yeah, call it soccer, too. That would be real good.
Yo, I'm absolutely going to call it soccer. This is a good soccer ball game.
You should be like, back in the land of rock, flag, and eagle, we call it football. So over here, it's soccer. Like, you gotta be fucking red, white, and blue, bro.
Oh, for sure I am.
Yeah, Jamie won't go any place that serves Italian food with me because I'm like, hey, a baby da boom, put it in. It's like,
Oh man.
oh my God, no. And I'm like, well, I speak Italian. Oh, it's on the vomiting. It's on ya.
Oh, Jesus.
That's really bad. That's really bad.